Are we up? Good morning, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, a couple of things. Different job this morning. We're going to see some paper calendaring. Slept well, of course. Were you asking anybody else? We're going to see some paper calendaring. I don't think we've ever seen this on the stream before. I'll explain it as we go along. But before I get into that, something else. This is going to be a short stream. It's 8 o'clock now. I've got to be out of here by 8:30. And it's because of those of you who were here yesterday, you know what happened. I was doing sizing, and Kubota-san, one of our outside printers who was booked off for a few months, he phoned me, I don't know, a few weeks ago saying, Dave, another large job has come in that he's taken on. He won't be able to do work for us for like a few months at least. So we scratched him off our calendar and just whatever went ahead with other work. But he phoned, not yesterday afternoon, was today Monday, he must have phoned Saturday afternoon evening saying, Dave, that job was cancelled, I need work. Or, can you send work for me? So I'm like, yes, of course. So that was Saturday afternoon. So quickly I threw paper for him into the dosa mix, and that's why I was doing dosa yesterday. But because he already had the blocks, we had sent them to him some months ago, I didn't know the dimensions of the paper. So during yesterday's stream, we phoned Kubota-san to try and find the dimensions so I could cut the paper ready for sizing it. He didn't get back to me while we were all waiting here, so I went ahead with other paper. He then phoned back shortly. I went ahead and sized the paper for him and hung it up yesterday afternoon. Thing is, though, he has only got a short gap between his next job, so he needs to get going right now. I sized it yesterday noon. It wasn't dry by the afternoon, so I couldn't cut it, wrap it up, and ship it to him so he would have received it this morning. But he wants to get started this morning, so I have to get over there. I'm the one guy who has free time. So after I finish calendaring it this morning, I'm going to wrap it up and get on the subway and get over there to see him this morning before getting back to run the shop here. So you're going to see for the next half hour, I'm going to slice his paper up to the correct dimensions because I can't put the large sheets through my press. I'm going to slice it up to slightly oversized for what he wants. Then I'm going to run it through the press, calendaring it, and we'll see what happens, how that works. And then once the calendaring job is done, I'm out of here. I've got to shut this down, and I'll be over to deliver the paper to him on the subway. Special delivery across Tokyo. So first step, cut the paper. Second step, get busy with the calendaring. This is the stuff that I sized. You've seen me do this before. I size it all, I flip it over, I turn it over back and forth and back and forth. Is this... Okay, here it is. Okay, what we're seeing now then, you've seen me hang this stuff up in pairs back to back, and then it comes back down off the clips. I've just taken it off the clips now. So what we've got are two sheets a little bit stuck together. They're stuck together at the top where the clips went. So these two sheets are now back to back, and they now have to be restored to their normals. That's face up. This one is now face up. Next pair. It's kind of insane, we hang those things up, wet, glued, sticky paper, and they don't stick together. Just the only parts that are stuck together are right where the clips held them stuck. Kubota-san's not in Asakusa. He's over in his workshop, not his home. His workshop is over in Tsukijima. So it's going to be a subway ride for me. I go on the Tsukuba Express first, then I join the Oedo line, and I get off at Tsukijima. It's not so bad. It's about 15 minutes. And he does the same thing that I do. He's got a real home, his wife and stuff like that, but he sleeps in his workshop to avoid commuting time. A workman like this, there's no way he can spend an hour, 2 hours wasting time each day commuting. Okay, there we go. Paper's now all in the same orientation. And what this print is going to become, the job that he's going to do for us, is a print in our catalog that's been out of stock, out of issue for a couple of years. I think the catalog number is catalog 250. If you go to our catalog, or somebody who knows how to do the URLs, mokohankan.com/catalog/0250.php. That's the URL. I think that's the right catalog, that print. It's designed by, it's a full Hiroshige design. It's a design made up by the Meiji publisher Hasegawa, based on some sort of original by Hiroshige. The area is the place now known as Ochanomizu. And Hiroshige didn't design it in the form that you see there. Now, these images are long out of copyright. Even in the Meiji era, they were out of copyright. There was no copyright back then. Measure twice, measure 3 times, measure 4 times, cut once. I think you're confusing two things. The fish market is Tsukiji. It's not too far from there, but it's a different place. This is Tsukijima, which is a reclaimed island, but the fish market is Tsukiji, which is in the same rough part of Tokyo as this, but it's not the same island. Cut my Ethernet cable here, why don't I? One 65, 50, 65, 50, 65. Here we go. Ochanomizu. Tea water. That is on the wet version. Do we have one of those downstairs? 3 groups. If it's in the online catalog, Cameron's been keeping on track of that. So if it's in the online catalog, it should be there. But if you've got it, it should be taken out of the shop. That's the problem over the weekend. Cameron's not here, so nobody sees those orders. I'm sorry. Bit of a hole in our system, actually. Just a second here. Okay, let's cut this in half. Okay, Koda-san wants 230 of this. 230 doubled is 460. I'll just cut this in half. You can take the rest of it. Okay, now let's get on with the real work today. Non-slip pad. Okay, here we go. Excuse me about this. Gonna get some noise here. Yo-yo! This is a heavy little monster. Okay, what we have here is not part of traditional Japanese printmaking at all. It's a press. It's a Blick Econo Etch Model 2. Little tiny etching press. We don't do any etching here at Mocha Hong Kong. What we do have is a problem with our paper, among other problems. The paper we get these days, whatever, lots of things about it. Many times the surface is too rough. When they're drying the paper, when they're making the paper, drying it from wet, they brush it onto wooden boards. And when the wooden boards are brand new, the surface is smooth and the paper comes out with a beautifully smooth surface. As the wood gets older, the water swells into it, shrinks out, swells into it, shrinks out, the wood gets rougher, they plane it smooth, and away they go. The boards are huge, they're wide, they're almost like 1 meter wide, 3-4 meters long. They are hugely expensive. Hugely expensive. Many hundreds of dollars each. Every time you plane them, they get thinner. They do not want to do this. So they just let it go. The surface of the paper is really quite rough. And what we've been doing, all of us, up till quite recently, and Kubota-san too, is when you get the paper, before he starts printing, he gets what's called a betaban, a blank block. We have them here. Just a blank piece of cherry wood. And we slightly moisten it, put the paper on and rub the back of it to make the front surface of the paper nice and smooth. And then we go ahead with a normal printing. It's another extra step for the printer. So what we've been doing recently, it's also not just the next step of the printer, it wears out the barren. You have to really push and push and push and push, and the the cover wears off when the coil starts breaking down. So we found a better way to do it. We meaning me. We use a little etching press. And what we do is this. Let's do the camera. The etching press has a little, it's a stainless steel plate, I guess. On top of the stainless steel plate, we have put, you know those, here's what, it's these clear files like this, right? You open them up, whatever. We've taken a piece of this plastic and we've just taped it onto the base of this thing to give a flat, smooth surface. The metal is not smooth, it's got ridges. And what we do is, sheets of paper go in here. We do it face down, but it doesn't really matter. Sheet of paper goes in face down. This is dry paper, just as it is out of the sizing. Another piece of the Mylar on top, and one thin felt. And this is, I don't know, 5mm felt originally. It's been getting thinner and thinner over the years. And I better, of course, get this ready. How hard to tighten it down? Just onto the felt and a little bit more. A little bit more. And let's have a go. A bit too light, I think. Need a bit more pressure. Let's find out. The paper comes out, and under my light here, it is now beautifully, beautifully smooth surfaced. It's also the backside too gets smoothed a little bit. And it's now really nice for the printers to use. They can do their first printing, initial printing, quite delicately without having to go through that smashing. Where am I going to stack the finished sheets here? Under the computer, okay? Face down, ready for Kubota. And I think I need it a tiny bit tighter. And that's it. Should I move the camera? I'm not sure. Am I going to be in the way? Let's see. Sheets come off the stack, face down on the bed, covered with plastic. And away we go, back and forth, left to right, right to left, left to right, right to left. Just a single pass will do it. Again, I'm not sure if there's any way to really show you this. You know, it's a piece of white paper under a whatever. To you it looks just the same, a piece of white paper, but believe me, it is now beautifully, beautifully, smoothly calendared. Kubota-san loves this, and so do we all. He thinks we've gone back in time. The first time we brought this stuff to him, he said, "Where did you get the old paper?" He keeps saying that. We brought him the stuff from Sawaki-san too, and he's like, "Where did you get this old paper?" So it's my job here for the next 15-20 minutes, and then after this is done, like as I said, I'm out of here. It's going to be a short stream. I have to deliver this paper by hand to Kubota-san this morning. Last night was okay, wasn't it? I'm really sorry I couldn't find a better focus. I know, just that kind of a camera just simply, it seems that it won't do that kind of job. I'm sorry. We should have, I don't know, bought a different camera or something. I don't know. Well, you can hear Dave say, "Where's the beer?" I had only one. I bought a bunch of cans of beer. It was just me and Koizumi-san and Kawai-san last night. Just three boys. All the girls went home. They were worried about the crowds. It really, really, really was crowded. It was stinky crowded. And after the fireworks were over, I'm sure Koizumi-san and Kawai-san, it took them hours to get home. Yesterday in the shop was a record-setting day. An absolute record-setting day. We've got one day left in the month today. Tuesday we're closed, so it's been a record-breaking month. And yesterday was a record-breaking day. And not just record-breaking, it was fun. There were so many fun people in the shop yesterday. We just laughed our butts off. Night sales were nothing yesterday. You know, for one, we closed it because we went upstairs to do the fireworks. And then when we came back down from the fireworks, all it was a giant stream of people heading for the train station. nobody was interested in looking at shops, nothing. So I just closed it up. I left the lights. I was down there working myself, but I left the door closed. We need to find a way to get more inventory. Yes, like get to work. What can I say? That's what I'm doing. I'm working. That's what this is right now. 2 weeks from now, this print will be back in stock in our inventory. I just have to wait for those phone calls from printers and then do our own printer training. Minions, yeah. Where can I get them? If there were only some way to train the rats. Cinderella did. I think you're mixing your stories actually, but whatever. What's the story that we teach the kids? Story about the shoemaker, so this little shoemaker and his wife. I think there's 10 little elves work during the night to make the shoes or something like that. Well, we've got it, in a sense. This is Kubota-san. He's a little elf sitting in his workshop over there in Tsukijima. All I have to do is feed him with paper and blocks, and back come woodblock prints, beautiful woodblock prints, Ah, Soka, the mice make Cinderella's dress. Okay, sorry about that. It's been a while since I've seen those things. Where's my fairy godmother? Nice paper. He's gonna love this. That's getting full of crap though. I can't let it go without complaining. You can even see it here, right? Giant pieces of bark. Another one over here. On a snow print too, where if it falls into a place where there's lots of detail, we're okay. But if it's in the middle of an open part of snow, we're done. What he does, what the printers do, and what Kubota-san will do with this batch of paper, before he moistens it, he'll skip through the batch, chuk, 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 chuk. He's looking for ones with bad bark and stuff. And he knows he's got the sample prints, so he's looking for the ones that have bad bark, right bang in the middle of a dangerous place. And if he can flip it upside down to put the bark in a good place, he'll do that. And if he can't do that, he'll put that at the front of his pile, and it'll become one of the test prints. So he's not stupid. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't leave the paper random like this. So he's gone all the way through the stack, and all of a sudden it turns out there's one with bad chili. And this is the first time today this job is going to be done. After I get back from feeding Kubota-san this batch of paper, I then have to do the same thing. I sized paper yesterday, was it yesterday morning? For Suga-san, for the Times Burned Bright print. And she's ready to do moistening today. So as soon as I get back off the train, I'm back up here again to do Suga-san's paper. We don't have to calendar all the paper that we size. It's the specific thickness, the one we call takenagaba. The boards they use for drying that are specifically rough. The paper that we use for the Great Wave print doesn't need this calendaring. It's quite thin paper to start with, and they dry it, I think, on metal plates. So it's actually quite smooth on the front. So we don't have to do this for all the prints. And if there's a print, a design that requires really vivid, thick embossing, like the little crane print in our Hunger Club series. We don't do this at all because this, of course, does have the effect of flattening the paper. And any subsequent embossings will be present, but not so dramatic. Crap, it's hot again already here. I hear footsteps on the stairs. Who have we got here? Soga's coming today? Oh, it's Cameron. Soga, I've forgotten all about it. After I've forgotten all about you. So, that's what you get for staying away for 2 days. So.
Yeah.
It's Cameron's Anne. They were just talking about you.
Ah.
Literally, they were just talking about you.
Are you a robot or a clone?
I don't remember why your name came up here. Oh, they were looking. Oh, I know. We were looking for elves or something to do the work around here at night. You know, so I could just wake up in the morning and all the prints were going to be done.
Got it.
It jumped from elves into Cinderella's fairy godmother, and then it jumped from there. I don't need that. I have Cameron. I'm not making this up. It's right there. So, hello, fairy godmother. Where's your dress?
Oh, sorry. I think I left it at home this morning. Maybe next time.
You didn't see the fireworks from where you are. No, it doesn't show that far now. So.
No, I just right before I left on Friday, Zuga-san said, "Oh, it was just announced it's canceled for Saturday."
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
they-
They did it Sunday. It was
Oh, they
postponed
did.
to today. So.
How was it?
It was okay, and I always all the girls went home. They couldn't be bothered, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
they worried about the crowds. But me and the boys, Koizumi-san and Kawai-san, we sat up on the rooftop.
Oh,
We
nice.
climbed up right to the top. You know, not on the
Oh,
roof,
yeah,
but
the-
on the little.
The extra high
Yeah, the
spot.
extra high place on top of the stairwell. You were all bounced up on top there with the camera. We didn't,
Oh, fun.
and up there drinking. And I bought 6 cans of beer, 2 each,
Okay.
because I do not want those guys up on top of that.
The
The
top
roof.
of the top of the roof.
But they fooled me. They had a box of umeshu. So I came
It's
down.
not beer, so it doesn't count.
Give me a break. And I was shitting bricks. I came downstairs. They were okay. 2 beers is all right.
Yeah.
And I came downstairs to look in the shop and left the 2 of them up there. Be careful, guys. Don't go near the edge. Just sit. And they're like, okay. And he pulls out this box of umeshu. And I'm thinking, oh, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done?
But they all survived the weekend.
I think so. I'm not sure. I haven't actually been up there to look. So. I know, I'm going to be out of here in a few minutes. It's going to be a short stream today. I know
Oh, okay.
the sizing job here, the calendaring job, this is for Kubota-san. You probably haven't heard this. Yeah, so. I think Cameron just fainted, actually. Cameron, wake up. Kubota-san phoned Saturday afternoon.
Oh.
And he said, can I have some work? And I'm like, wow, yeah, what?
Yeah,
Kubota-san
2
had
months
told
early.
us he was off for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months. He said, don't count me into your calculations for basically, he almost said half a year.
Yeah, I think he did say 6
So, and that was a month or so ago. So he phoned Saturday afternoon, and I don't know the details because I can't ask, did you get fired from your other job or something? I can't
Yeah.
say, but he said, can I have some work? I'm like,
Absolutely.
yeah, whatever. He's already got some blocks over there because I had sent work for him previously to,
Right.
stand by when he was ready.
Yeah.
So he had blocks but didn't have paper.
Huh.
So he said, yeah, can you have some paper? So this is Saturday afternoon, he
Yeah.
phones. So I put his paper into Sunday's DOSA stream.
Right.
What day is it? Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah,
Sunday
Sunday.
DOSA stream.
Yeah.
So. But I couldn't, he wanted it right now. I didn't have paper size. So he goes, listen, I've got a size paper. You gotta wait for him until I size. He said, well, okay, but he doesn't
My
know
window
about-
of opportunity
Yeah,
is not very big.
exactly. So anyway, so I said I could size it, but it wasn't dry in time to ship it yesterday by Takibe.
Yeah.
So it's dry this morning, but if I send it by taxi today, he doesn't get it. So I'm gonna subway.
Just drive over, or
No,
yeah,
no,
get
drive
over there.
over, drive
Not
over.
drive, but
How
I
do
mean
you
get
know
over
it's-
there. Deliver it.
So as soon as this is done, I'm gonna shut the stream down, grab the subway, and get over there. So
Cool.
what buffering?
It's because I came in.
I don't think so. Everything's totally normal. We haven't had stream problems for months now. It's all logged in. I think maybe I banged the thing here.
That's great news.
So it is great
What's
news.
the next project?
Okay, what it is I know I went through the heroes, and actually the heroes at the moment are click, click, click. We're sort of okay.
Yeah.
Mario's down, but Kare-san has the blocks fed already.
Right, and
She's
she's already
printing
started.
times, but it's already started. So what I did was I took one from the catalog, the snow print, number 250.
Oh, okay.
It's been out of print for I don't even know how long, a couple of years.
Yeah.
So bang,
Great.
this is it. So he'll have that. And then if he does have time after this one, absolutely another heroes to show.
Excellent. It's the snow print, maybe one Kantar hasn't seen yet.
We were talking about earlier, so they've linked to it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if they've seen it or not seen it. But speaking of Ochanomizu, it's the snow print of Ochanomizu. And Mr. Conter here jumped up, and I haven't seen this, but he talked about buying the Ochanomizu print that's in our catalog. So there may be something waiting in your
Okay.
mailbox
Find out.
that I haven't seen. So. Thanks for the fireworks. Thanks for the fireworks. Yes, it was fun. I'm sorry for the poor quality. You know, we're going to get experience bit by bit. The problem with the fireworks, I can't test it. We had no way to test. You know,
Yeah.
for the first 10 minutes, it was chaos. Just blur, blur, blur. We left it on auto,
Yeah.
and it's a blur. The fireworks come up as a blur, but then it locks because there's a firework in the
I
sky.
see something.
And as long as there was 3 or 4 continuous, it kept lock on it.
Okay.
But then that stopped. Another one comes up just by itself. Blur, blur, focus down. Another one comes by itself. Blur, blur, focus down. So it could handle a group of them, but it couldn't handle one.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find the manual
Manual focus.
And they were sending me the manual. I looked on the manual, and we could not find the focus. Then somewhere along the line, I hit a button randomly that I couldn't understand, and bingo, there's the manual focus section.
Huh.
But it made it worse.
It made it worse.
That's just because there's no feedback. There's a little arrow that says in, out, and there's no bar that shows up and down
Yeah.
where you are.
Ah.
I just go blurred and blurred because I can't. Well, hold that firework while I focus. You know, it doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. So, ow.
Oh man.
So it sort of was okay, but.
It's what was it?
You said 90 minutes straight. That was Kaijo 1. They had 2 launching spots that were just working basically full time. And you saw only one last night, and just to our right, 90 degrees to our right, 45 degrees to our right, was the second one. This is a stupendously huge, expensive, unbelievable. I have no idea how many millions, literally millions of dollars was exploded last night. That's no exaggeration. As we talked about it, the large one, the Odama, the big balls, they are easily $1,000,000 yen each, which is $10,000. And hundreds and hundreds of them went up last night. What was the occasion? Just a festival, just to make noise and blow up stuff. Don't you know about that? What's the excuse? Just to blow up stuff. And this goes right back. I don't know, the year when this all started, but there were lots of ukiyo-e prints from the Edo time that show fireworks festivals in Edo during the summer. And I'm sure they weren't the 90-minute super galactic extravaganza we saw, because back in 1834, just one of those things going up would have been spectacular, a show enough for anybody. But so I suppose a show back then would have been, 3 or 4 or 5 of these things, and people would have just been blown away for the year. I don't know what it is with human beings and blowing stuff up. I don't know. The crows seem to have survived, right? People were saying that last night. Oh my God, the crows are never going to get through this alive. But, of course they do. Here we're halfway. This is the halfway marker. It's so much easier than doing it with the Baron, you know, and so much better on the tools, you know. This is just a light, you know, I'm sweating, but not because of the work. I'm sweating because of the temperature here. It's light, easy work compared to the full body power of rubbing these things to get them flat. Is this cheating using a press for this? I don't know, I don't care. I don't think this is a... We don't use laser carving because we want humanly carved, but I have no problem with using this technology to calendar the paper. How hot is it? It's not so bad. The thermometer this morning is showing, what is it showing? 31, is that what it is? Humidity is a little bit down from yesterday, but it's still summer. It's still July, August. Right? Did you notice? I just noticed that, the logo on the clock. And HK. Yeah, the question of cheating is just a question of, in my mind, the line is when we're preparing all this stuff, getting ready for the job to start, we'll use computers and whatever. Jed draws on a computer, it can't be helped. And in my mind, you know, once it's ready to go, okay, here we go, now we're going to use basically the old technology. But of course I'm okay, I'm semi-joking, I have no problem with this at all. We are making handmade wood block prints and rubbing this with a piece of metal instead of rubbing it with my Baron, I got no problem with that. I'm just half joking. And anyway, I'm doing it myself. It's not exactly like pushing a button. Yeah, NHK, they gave it, NHK is an interesting deal, you know. When I do, or when I used to do, the programs like the Journeys in Japan or stuff like that, that was work. And of course they pay you. I'm in their database of actors, blah, blah, blah. Literally, I'm in their actors database. And you know, you're paid at the end of a job. Money comes into your bank account, you get tax deducted, and at the end of the year you get the tax payment certificate, stuff like that. So for normal work for NHK, of course I'm paid properly. It's not the world's best pay, but whatever, they know that you also get publicity out of it and stuff like that. So paid work for NHK is paid work. But when they come here to put us on a news program, this not only isn't paid, it can't be paid. You know, of course, it's like semi-quasi-documentary. They don't pay people to go on the news and say stuff. No, nobody would want a news company or a media company to be paying people to stand on a news program talking about stuff. But this is Japan, and there has to be some kind of compensation. So then it's a little box of cookies, or in this case, I must have spent a lot of time on something for them. I don't even remember what it was. And you get something a little bit more of a, you know, a memento of your time with NHK. And we're on TV all the time, so it's no big deal for us. But when you think about maybe some random person who has never been on TV before, if they have some chance, NHK or some other TV company needs them for 5 minutes and asks them, gives them this little present, then for that person, that's really quite a big deal. They've been on TV for the first time and they can show their friends, look, here I am, NHK, I was on TV and stuff like that. So it all makes sense in the context of the way this works. You know. For work, for contracted work, which they ask me to do, of course I get paid. For general casual appearances or appearances that basically promote our work, we don't get paid and don't expect to. I think my mother's got one. I don't know if she's here this morning. I think she has a really nice lacquered clock on her table at home. I'm not sure which company it's from. That might be NHK too. I don't remember. You know, these things too, they make nice gifts ourselves. We use this one of ourselves, but if we hadn't used it, we could pass it on to somebody. here's a little thing, NHK. It's whatever. If I was sending it out as a free gift to the Twitch stream, I think you guys would enjoy it. We're using it. Mostly we eat them. The last batch from NHK was cookies. Cookies with an NHK logo burned on the top. You can't keep those. Cameron's going awfully quiet. Is there that much stuff in there this morning?
Yeah.
Yes, he says yes. Pardon me?
There are quite a few orders.
Is Ome in today, do you know, for shipping? The reason I ask is there's something I'm supposed to ask them to send today. Kanai-san is printing the rickshaw cart print. She has the blocks and the paper. We had no print to send her because we're out. And we still haven't received them from our friend overseas. And every day now, we are losing sales every day. Anyway, point one, Ome has to send a mihon to Kanai-san.
Ishigami-san will be there in the afternoon.
Well, priority one, Kanai-san has already started printing, so she needs a mihon for the rickshaw cart print. And then also, we got to talk to Jed, because where are those prints? It's 2 weeks or something ago, he said, I sent them, nail them down, get a tracking number. We are losing so many sales now. I'm sure NHK does make Domo cookies over in their studios. They do studio tours, they do open studios, they have a gift shop. I'm sure they have that stuff all nailed down very well. And in fact, these things they bring to us as gifts are probably things just pulled off the shelf in their gift shop. I don't know. Yeah, Jeb was in San Diego. That's a couple of weeks ago. After that, he went on a family vacation. He went to his wife's family's place. Oops, first quick. Sorry. Probably a good angle. I don't know. I'm in the way here, so. I don't know the best place to show this. It doesn't really matter. There's no specific details you need to learn here. You have to check each one. I learned this bitterly. You have to check every one. Every now and then you're doing something, a little speck of the paper here has the edge on it. And if you're not careful, whatever, a bit of edge falls onto that plate while I'm doing something else, you lay the next piece of paper on top of it and bang, for 3 sheets in a row or something, you've got a big blob in the middle. So every one gets checked. Seems our normal way. Who's here? Suga-san is here. Stand by for a dose of cheerful. Suga-san, good morning. Come in. Say hello. Say hello. I have good news and bad news. No, not good. I have good news. Your paper is out of the fridge. I remembered your freezer. Paper is out of the freezer. And your dosa, the paper for Times Burned Bright, campfire image, the paper is all done. It's hanging up in the other room. まだプレスしてないです。今久保田さんのためのものをプレスしてます。
プレス自分でやるから大丈夫ですよ。
このもの今久保田さんが待ってる。
今
日示したいです。だから今終わってから僕は地下鉄で行く。
本当？
いや彼が待ってる。空いてる時間が短いですから。焚き火で送って合わないですから彼がずっと一日中座ったんです。
待ってるのか。
そうです。これが終わってからストリームを消して。
そうなんだ。
いきます。
オッケー
だからそのまま置いとく。
置いとくんだ。うん、
今干してある紙は全部すぐさんの。
あ、全部やつ。
そう
あ、
これは
OK。
関係ないですね。
あ、OK です。
The paper is
じゃ
hanging
あ、
up.
あれね、OK、OK。
It's all
あ
for
り
you.
がとうございます。じゃあもう取り込んでも大丈夫で
It's
すか？
okay, finished. And also, have a look. It looks actually kind of nice.
どうさ？
どうですか？
あー、でもき
I think it's not bad.
パ
I
リ
think
パ
it's
リ。
not bad. ちょっとアップしましたよ。
ありがとうございます。
前はちょっとみんながちょっと毛羽が出
うん、出てるね、そうね。
60になりました。
OK です。
あ、ちょっといい？ちょっと待って、ちょっと待って。
どれ？
It's
You have
actually,
to- いや、すぐさ、おー。
yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke.
何？
デイビッドの仕事は、いつもすぐさんが本当にいつもダウンですから、デイビッドの仕事はすぐさんアップしてください、アップしてください。冗談ですね、逆ですよ。すぐさんが階段の下から聞こえますから、Here comes すぐさん、火が出て、雲が飛んで、工房が明るくなる雰囲気ですよ。みんなここまでわかる。They can't see it.
あー、おはようございます。
So anyway, get back to work. Well, she's found a job from heaven here. We're so good for her, and she's doing such a good job for us. It's just such a perfect match. As I've said before, the first few months, the first half a year, were touch and go. But she came through with some help from Kubota-san, the guy who this paper is for. And now she's doing such good work. Such good work. I got in a bit of trouble. Was it Friday when she was here? She was doing the proof for the Cameron-san. Oh, you're gone. On Friday, Suga-san was doing proofing on Times Burn Bright. Chon-san was here because he's doing some block adjustments for her.
On Friday, really?
Yeah, he came because he had to do block adjustments while she was doing that. And what we did, we took a few pictures. I didn't have my camera. Nei-chan had her camera.
Oh, nice.
And she got some pictures of like Times Burn Bright with 3 or 4 colors on it. Chon-san's looking at it, I'm looking at it, Suga-san's looking at it.
Oh, great.
These pictures are in Nei-chan's camera.
Okay, I will
Steal
get
it,
those from
grab a
her.
couple, and
Absolutely.
please Instagram it or Facebook it today, because the print,
It's getting close, right?
yeah, she did one all the way to the end, and it
Yeah.
doesn't look good yet because it's blurry and there's too much gray on it. We gotta take
Yeah.
one block off, we gotta cover off the motor body.
Yeah.
So I don't want to scan that one and show that one.
Yeah.
But the one yesterday, it's partway through, 4 or 5 colors, and it looks to die for.
All right.
Already. So please,
Cool.
I'll
I'll share that one. Okay.
Like you have nothing else to do today, but anyway.
Yeah. That'll be. Once she comes in, I'll take her camera.
So stand by for an Instagram / Facebook / blog post today. I don't know what he's going to do with it. So. And it's kind of an interesting picture, you know. I know it's the Jed Henry next Ukiyo-e Heroes print, and it's really rare actually to find a single picture. I'm sitting there. I'm the publisher of this thing. Chon-san's sitting there. He's the carver. The carver. We're holding the blocks. Suga-san's right there doing the test printing. This kind of image, you know, if we had this kind of pictures from the early time of Shin Hanga or the Edo time or whatever, it would be to die for, to see this kind of picture. There's the publisher, the carver, the printer all together looking at this. What should we do with this problem? Jed wasn't there. He was over doing something else, you know. So he's out of the picture. Literally, he's out of the picture. We've taken over from him. He gave us that Photoshop file and that's it. Jed, you're out of the picture. We'll go for it. So. But it really is, not to be sort of blow my own horn. If we had these pictures from like the early Hasui with Watanabe standing there and then the printer, good God, it would be such a cool thing to have, you know. That sort of reminds me, he's coming over in October. Jed's coming over, you know.
Yeah.
He's been here he comes by a couple of years. We should make sure we arrange that kind of a get together, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just go out for dinner together, something with Chon-san and a couple of printers. There's the whole crew, the Ukiyo-e Quartet, you know.
That'd be really cool.
We really should do that. You know, so. I don't think of those things while the chance is there, you know, but let's make it happen this time around. Oops, there's a hair in there. Whose hair is that? Can I blame that on Suga-san? No, it's white. Let's change the subject. No, it's called after shower shedding season is what it's called. That's funny because you mentioned that, because yesterday when we were taking those pictures, Rei-chan was standing above us looking down on us. We're looking down. The paper is by Suga-san. I'm sitting next to her. Rei-chan is sort of standing above us looking down. And she got a couple of pictures of the top of my head.
昨日メロン食べなかったの
Huh?
昨日メロン食べなかったの
No, chance なかったんです。
あ、
So,
そう、嘘。石川さん大丈夫
I don't know, she was
食べら
busy
れ
and
なかったね
yeah.
あらまあ。そっか。あらまあ。
あらまあ、あらまあ。
あらまあ。
関西ですか？関西でしょ？
ね、言い方は関西だったけど、関西出身じゃないけど。
Whatever, she gets these shots from up top, and she's got the light was something. It looked like I had this totally empty area on the top. So she erased a couple. I hear the erase beep beep. What are you doing? What are you doing? She said, well, I erased the pictures. Don't erase it. We want these pictures. So. Not anoma, ara, arama. Arama. 違う。あれは金井さんも始まった。もう半期もう金井さんに送った。1日前。それ久保田さんの電話。午前中。僕、久保田さんに電話して、マリオの板を金井さんに送ってください。それから同じ日、午後彼から電話あったんですよ。私、いや、住所を知らないとか、何があって、仕事欲しいですけど。あれちょっと待って。そうそう。だからニューエディションの方から連絡があったそうですね。そう。
そして何するのじゃあ、フォックス
じゃない。関係ない。
別のやつか。
別のやつです。そう。ずっと2年の間に在庫なかったもの。
それ。
今ちょうどヒーローズはギリギリ OK だから、このもの終わってから次はフォックスとか。
フォックスとか。でも、金井さんがね、やってくれるとだって助かりますね。
そう。Okay, how are we going here? 55 minutes into this half-hour stream. I didn't say a half hour. I said whatever. It'll take whatever it takes. There's about 10 sheets left, so set your timers accordingly. Crap, I told him I'd be there by 9:30. Oh well. Anyway, he can't move till I get there, so I'll blame it on you. I'll tell him. Kubota-san, I was trying to do this job, but too many people interfered with me on the stream. It's all their fault. At least last night, right? I said a 90-minute firework festival. I think it was 90.1 minutes, right? Or 90 minutes plus a few seconds. The last batch actually went off just as the thing was officially closed. So 90 minutes, crap, 90 minutes of explosions, just unbelievable. I tried to leave the shop, but there was a mob of fans at the door. Actually, whatever, yesterday, it wasn't like that, but it was close. Any number of times, they came upstairs. I was trying to work upstairs, sizing and doing all that other stuff. And any number of times, Koizumi-san came up, and I can hear the ping pong, here he comes up, he's Dave, there's some people. So, okay, no problem, I went down. I got blinded from flashes yesterday. It was good fun, really good fun. We're still getting NHK fans, even though I haven't done one of those programs now in over a year.
Wow.
Yes, there's so many NHK fans. The
A lot
NHK
of
keeps...
Japanese people.
No, foreigners.
Oh, that thing.
NHK World, Journeys from Japan. So, I haven't done one now in, I don't know, a year and a half or something, but they're rerunning them so much. Hi.
あれカッティングマット借りて
あ、いやいや、
いいですか？
もう終わったんです。
終わった？
ごめんなさい。
オッケー。
あの紙。
あ、あの紙。
干した紙、
うん
OK
あ、干した紙カット
OK
します。
はいはい。There was a funny one yesterday. There had been some people doing a print party, a two and a two. And the two of the people, they knew about us. They were happy to be here. They'd seen NHK, they'd seen YouTube videos, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The other two people hadn't known anything about it. They just booked a print party. They probably saw it on Lonely Planet or something. I don't even know. I wasn't part of the conversation. So they didn't know anything about me at all. So the print party went on downstairs. The staff did it yesterday. Then Koizumi-san came up and said, Dave, these people would like to take a picture or whatever. So I jumped downstairs, chat with them for 5 or 10 minutes, chat with them as a group of 4 because they were standing there. But 2 of them really were the people who knew me. But we're chatting together as a group of 4. Oh, no problem, going on, really happy. And then as the chat was sort of breaking up, coming to the end, the 2 people who knew me asked, Dave, can we get a picture together? And I'm sure, no problem at all. So we sat down on my carving bench and blah, blah, blah. And the other 2 people were a little bit bemused about this because I hadn't done the print party. I was just this dude who came down from upstairs. And no problem, whatever, it all went around. So the 2 people who wanted their picture gave their camera to the staff took the camera, I sat down and we all had good fun. Then they got up off the stool and left. And just at that moment, the guy from the other 2, he reached into his pocket and started to pull something out. So I assumed, without even thinking about it, because this happens X times a day, he wants a picture. So I said, oh, sure, okay, no problem, sit down, no problem. He wasn't pulling out a camera, he was pulling out his map to look where he's going to go next. They were ready to leave. But Dave here had said, yeah, let's take a picture together. His face looks like okay, if you're that big a star, let's do this. You know, I felt like a total absolute jerk for a few seconds, and we all started laughing about it. It was my natural reaction, because I see this every day. The guy reaches in his pocket to pull out his camera. So, it was. We grinned at it. I tried to explain why I had said that. He's like, yeah, right. Tell me another one. But we were all laughing about it. It's okay. But, I mean, he had got the idea because the other couple had been so enthusiastic, so he knew what was happening here. I tell you, I've got the best of possible worlds on this little quote fame unquote thing. You know, I did all this ego boast of people saying, "Wow, I'm here, happy to talk to Dave." So it's it feeds my ego as it would with anybody. But I'm not famous. I go outside the door of this place, walk down the street, and nobody knows me. Nobody cares who I am. I'm just another dude. So I've got both. I've got the little ego thing of having this, people tickle my ego, and yet I have the total privacy that a normal person has. So it's really the best of both worlds, I couldn't bear it. I know we've done this. I've said no to TV shows in the past. They wanted me to join a member of a panel on a TV variety show, and I said no, because once you go that route, you lose all your privacy. You go outside, everybody knows who you are, sign, picture, you can't pick your nose, can't do anything. There's no way. So for me now, it's just perfect. You get the fun of talking to people in this way, and I get the privacy as well. So hopefully we can keep that balance, I guess. Okay, two more sheets. Two more sheets. Two more sheets. I don't stand out. There's so many foreigners in Asakusa. Nobody blinks. I'm nothing here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The people that stand out in Asakusa, there was 3 dudes I passed last night, tattooed and hooked in a ring to the gills. I've never seen people with that much hardware on. Like, how could you walk with that much hardware on your face? Those are the people that stand out. I'm nothing. Okay, last street, last sheet. What is it, 9 o'clock? So we had an hour-long street. Okay, a couple more things to mention about this technically. If I just left the press like this, I'd be in trouble. And those of you who know presses and etching, whatever, you know what happens to happen next. You've got to release this thing. If I leave the pressure on this, that blanket basically gets destroyed. So of course, up she comes. Even though Suga-san's going to be using this morning, take off the pressure. And then what we also do, I'm not going to do it now because she's going to use it in a few minutes, but if I knew this wasn't going to be used for a few days, I'd go back to the printer's room, get a little dab of camellia oil on a tissue, and we just oil up a little bit. The roller here, and then the roller underneath. A little light bit of camellia oil. Otherwise it just starts to get rusty. It's really, really damp here. But we have to be super careful. Oil around a press like this, any tiny dab of oil on the paper, it goes through the whole stack and we've destroyed the whole thing. That's another reason why we use those plastic sheets. The paper itself is totally isolated from the press. But my fingers aren't, and if I'm touching stuff around here, picking up the paper, a bit of oil goes in there, we are doomed. So those of you who are going to try this, please, extreme alert, be very careful with the oil. Okay, I now do have to get out of here. It's 9 o'clock, it's earlier than we normally do, but I've got to run over to Kubota-san's place to deliver this. Tomorrow's Tuesday, I will not be here. I'm not actually quite sure what I'm going to be doing. Are you sure what I'm doing? He might have stuff lined up, I'm not sure. Wednesday I'll be back at it, and I think Wednesday it might be tracing more. It's that hair block. We're going to be tracing that hair block on the octopus print, I guess. Or perhaps if I've got one of the other tracings printed out, it'll be pasted down. I'll be carving one of the blocks for the octopus print. One or the other, or maybe even it's another sizing stream. I have no idea. I can't see 2 days in advance. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Step 1. Thanks again. Bye-bye, guys. Shut this off.